Have you ever experienced that moment when the deeper you think, the more isolated you feel? When the more you know, the less people seem to care. It's not just in your head. In fact, it's been happening for centuries. Society has always been wary of deep thinkers, not because they're wrong, but because they see the world in ways others aren't ready to face. You can look back at history and see the same pattern repeating itself. From Socrates to Galileo to Nietzsche, all these thinkers were ridiculed, ostracized, or ignored. Why? Not because they lacked intelligence, but because their ideas were uncomfortable, even terrifying, to the people around them. It's a phenomenon philosophers have written about for centuries, and the more we understand about human nature, the more we realize how deeply ingrained this resistance is. Take Schopenhauer, for example. He didn't just think intelligence was a gift, it was a curse. For him, the more you understand about the world, the more you see how much people are unwilling to face the truth. And the deeper you think, the more you see just how much people are hiding from themselves. But why is that? Why is intelligence, more than any other trait, so often met with rejection or discomfort? Well, the answer lies in something we all share: human psychology. Here's the twist. When you meet someone who's physically stronger than you might admire their strength. When you meet someone wealthier, you might envy them, but you don't feel personally threatened. But when you meet someone who's intellectually superior, it's a different story. Psychologists call this the mirror effect. It's not just about the ideas they introduce, but the reflection they create of who we are, and more importantly, who we are not. It's uncomfortable. And here's the truth. People don't like feeling inadequate. When we encounter someone with a deeper understanding of the world, something inside us shifts. Suddenly, we're faced with our own ignorance. And let's face it, no one likes being reminded of their own limits. This is why intelligent people often find themselves isolated, not because they lack social skills, but because their intelligence forces others to confront their own insecurities. It's like a mirror that doesn't just show your face, it shows your flaws. And most people don't want to look at that. So why does this happen? Why is intellectual superiority so much more uncomfortable than, say, physical strength or wealth? The difference is simple. Intelligence touches the core of who we are. We define ourselves by our thoughts, beliefs, and ideas. When someone else challenges those beliefs, it's not just a battle of ideas, it's a battle for identity. Our ideas are an extension of who we are. When someone questions our worldview, they question the foundation of our very existence. That's why it's so much harder to accept someone who outsmarts us than someone who outshines us physically or materially. It's a matter of comfort. People don't necessarily reject deep thinkers because they're bad people. They reject them because it's uncomfortable to be reminded of your own limitations. And this is something philosophers have pointed out for centuries. The more you understand, the more you see through the illusions that comfort people. And that's hard to live with. And this isn't just some ancient theory. It's been proven in modern studies. Neuroscientists have found that when people feel intellectually inferior, their brains experience the same stress response as if they were facing a physical threat. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear, gets activated. Why? Because for most of human history, survival depended more on social harmony than intellectual prowess. Our ancestors didn't need to be the smartest, they needed to be accepted by the group. Social acceptance meant safety. Rejection meant danger. So when someone disrupts the group dynamic by challenging common beliefs, it feels like a threat to our very survival. So, what happens when a deep thinker enters a social setting? They create a ripple. Their presence challenges everything we take for granted, and the brain, hardwired to maintain stability, doesn't like that. Instead of seeing it as an opportunity for growth, people often see it as a threat. They resist. But here's the paradox. Deep thinkers are not trying to tear down anyone's beliefs. They are simply trying to understand the world as it is. Yet, they are rejected because their understanding forces people to face uncomfortable truths. This dynamic doesn't just apply to small groups. It's even more pronounced in larger groups or society at large. Deep thinkers don't fit in because their ideas can't be easily categorized. They don't fit into the predictable patterns that society loves. In a group, people gravitate towards certainty, confidence, and simplicity. But deep thinkers speak in nuance, and that scares people. History has shown us that the most influential thinkers aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who can connect with people, speak to their emotions, and offer easy answers. Simple answers. Ideas that are digestible. That's why charismatic leaders and viral influencers often rise to prominence, because their ideas resonate with what people want to hear, not what they need to hear. It's not about challenging the status quo, it's about reinforcing it. So, in a world that favors simplicity, deep thinkers are left in the shadows, and it's not their fault. The issue is that the more you think, the more you see the flaws in the world around you, and most people prefer to stay in the comfortable bubble of ignorance. But here's the thing. This is a feature, not a bug. The more we understand human nature, the more we see that deep thinkers are simply too far ahead for their time. They are visionaries, and visionaries are often misunderstood. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Have you ever tried to discuss something deep or complex with someone only to see their eyes glaze over? Ever had the feeling that no one is really listening, even though you're speaking your truth? You're not alone. This happens because, at a fundamental level, people don't want to confront the deeper questions about life. Most people want answers that make them feel good, not answers that make them think hard. And yet, as Schopenhauer and other philosophers have pointed out, those who see the world for what it is, without the sugar coating, are the ones who are truly alive. They are the ones who understand that life isn't about fitting in. It's about seeking the truth, even if it makes you stand alone. So, to all the deep thinkers out there, keep questioning, keep challenging the norm. Even if the world isn't ready for your ideas, keep sharing them. The truth, no matter how uncomfortable, needs to be spoken. And one day, the world will catch up.